You know me, we switch things out here and there, always trying to find the best and the perfect fit for our family. But we have developed some favorite curriculum throughout our years of homeschooling and even this year. Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweetie's Homeschool YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 13, 10, and 7. This is our 8th year of homeschooling, and today I am sharing our favorite homeschool curriculum from this year. This is a collaboration hosted by myself and CJ at Homeschooling Through High School, and we will have a playlist of other moms also sharing what their favorite curriculum was this year. I always like these type of videos. It kind of helps maybe find some new things. So I am going to share first what my 2 daughters that I homeschool have picked for their favorites for this year. So my middle daughter, who is now 10, said her favorite thing was word ladders this year. So this was one of her independent work things. I also had her working on Explode the Code. It got to be at the end of the year, I kind of have let her ease up on Explode the Code. I know she enjoys this a lot more, and sometimes I just feel like she's not really loving Explode the Code. We've done some other language arts components, and so word ladders was one for vocabulary pages. So what happens is they start with the bottom word and then they go up and read the little clue, and sometimes it tells you like what letters to take away or things like that, and you work your way up to a top word up here. It's pretty simple and they enjoy it. I do this with both my daughters. So my youngest, this is not a surprise to me. She said she loved Mind Benders. She finished this book. We started this is level 2 for grades 1 through 2, and she's in 1st grade, technically could be in 2nd grade. And she finished this, first semester probably, early on. So then I was hunting for what we should do next, and we ended up with the next level, which she actually has started. I kind of postponed it a little bit because I was like, well, it's for 3 through I think like 6 or something. And so I was like, maybe like it's too much, but like we've started it and she's not really struggled with it very much. We also have like a 2 different science ones as well as verbal. So we have all of those that she's going to be working on, and she loves those. She would do many of them a day if she could. A few other things that are kind of some of my favorites. So, my middle daughter kind of struggled with writing some this year, just like motivation more. And so I picked this up thinking I was going to use this with her next year, and she is now going into public school next year. So we've started this, and we were just doing it verbally for the most part. But this is paragraph writing, and it's by Evan Moore. And it kind of just goes through like topic sentences. This is like narrative. So I might have her writing more, but at this point we were just doing topic sentences and kind of picking up some topic sentences. I was having her tell me some. So this is like some details, some supporting details. So I have really liked this, and I think we're gonna, maybe pick this up this summer. Just to make sure she's kind of on the right track with writing when she goes into public school. Another thing that she has told me with her mouth, I always feel like, am I assuming this is your favorite, but you're not actually saying it? But both of these, she actually has said, I like this. So she has enjoyed this, and I think it is getting a little tougher for her, but this is Editor-in-Chief by the Critical Thinking Company. You will notice a theme. We have kind of been using more and more Critical Thinking Company products. So we have like Mind Benders, Editor-in-Chief, and I have a few more products. I have really been picking them up more than I thought I would this year. This is for grades 4 through 5. They do have other levels of this, but this is level 1, and I think they might have a beginner as well as like some other middle school, high school levels. And you're basically editing a paragraph. So it's similar in, if you've seen like Fix It Grammar, they have these things of what you need to edit, and then you go through this. So what I have done, because that can be kind of difficult to just like, oh, how am I supposed to figure this out? They do have some kind of like lesson work, but what I do is usually sit next to her when we do this and have the answers right there. And so I read with her the sentence and I say, okay, there's something in this sentence, find what it is. And so she most of the time can pick out. She is a great editor. I was pleasantly surprised, and there's like a section in here even on spelling, and that was also a struggle a little bit this year, and she did really well on that. So I don't know, I've really liked Editor-in-Chief. Another kind of surprise to me was this really cheap Scholastic workbook of 240 vocabulary words kids need to know. This is a really great book. So the lessons, each lesson is like about 3 pages worth. So there are 24 lessons in here. There's like synonyms, antonyms, there's some Latin root words, there's words from other languages, there's homophones, word stories, coined words, Greek words. There's a whole bunch of different sections. And so like they have the words right here. This one is Latin roots, aqua and port. And so they have these right here, the words. They go through the words, and then the first couple things activities they need to do are right here. They're pretty simple and easy learning the words. There is on the next page, so this is page 2, there is another A and B, and then I'll get back to this in just a second. And then there is a last page, and just like usually one activity, something fun sometimes. This section has turned out to be one of my favorites. So this is writing to learn. This one is write a dialogue between 2 people. Use at least 2 vocabulary words in your dialogue. So these have been like little writing prompts that are fun and use the vocabulary words. And like I said, I have struggled a little bit with writing with my 4th grader this year, and this has really helped give her some fun prompts. There was one to like write an ad, and she was writing a lot more than even required. So there were a few different things that I was like, oh, we are like doing this, and she was really didn't fight me on it or anything, which is kind of amazing. So it's been nice to do this, and I have really liked this. I think she hasn't minded it. She hasn't complained too much about this. So I like that it's really short, and there's like 3 pages in a lesson. So they're getting the words and learning the words. She's actually retained a lot of it. I quiz her at the end and check and see how she remembers things, and she usually does. So I have really been happy with this. So this is something I just recently brought out, and I'm like, why have I waited this long? This is Draw Right Now, and I've really actually brought it out for my youngest daughter to help her with her handwriting. She's kind of like, I don't know, like a little bit sloppier and just doesn't always want to write things out. And then also, now I also like helping my middle daughter like be motivated to write. And so I've been pulling this out, and it's kind of like especially when I was like not able to do school with them and they were doing school at my mom's while I was like traveling and things, they pulled this out, and they were both like doing some of the same drawings and writing. So this is her notebook, my 4th grader's notebook, and they were doing the drawing and writing together and kind of doing the pictures and things. So if you don't know about Draw Right Now, they have different copy work over here, which has been good. And then they have like a drawing lesson, and so they can draw that picture out. So it has been good. Sometimes they pick and do their own drawing instead of that. But then a favorite for the last couple of years is Apologia Math. This is Math 4. My 4th grader has done 3 and quite a bit of 4. We are gonna finish it this summer because I don't think we will get it all done this school year. It's been a little bit crazy, and she's done a few other like different math type things as well. So some days when we didn't pick this up, we were doing some other things, and then I was like, we need to really get done with this. So I wouldn't be so anxious to finish something, but I want her to have these concepts down before she goes into 5th grade next year in public school. I think that these would be important for her to know as building blocks. So we're going to work on it this summer as well. My youngest daughter has now done 1st grade and halfway through 2nd grade level. I've kind of tried to a little bit slow her down, but she's picking up the concepts. So we use this mainly. I did pull out some Generation Genius math videos a couple weeks ago for both of them. There was a concept, I think my older daughter, 4th grader, needed some help learning about long division, and my younger daughter needed help with like borrowing for subtraction. So I showed her some of those videos and they understood it and then went right back to their lessons, and it's been great. A couple other things that I've been adding in, like I said, Critical Thinking Company. I received these last year to review and show you guys, and I have been using these a lot more than I expected. We have known about mathematical reasoning. We used them in they have like some beginning levels. We used those and I liked those, and I have been pulling them out for some extra practice, some extra work for both of them. Not as much for my younger daughter because she just picks up on math concepts super easy, but for my 4th grader, sometimes she needs a little bit extra practice. So we have multiple levels of these, so I have that available. This also helps us. There's so many different concepts and it's so pretty and everything, so it's like a little more appealing sometimes to have all the color and pictures. And we also sometimes have to turn some things in that maybe our curriculum hasn't covered with mastery approach at that point for our public virtual school. So I might look in here and see if we can do some pages in one of these books to help cover those and make sure that they are understanding those concepts as well. They still learn them in their Apologia math. So another Critical Thinking Company product that I've really been liking and pulling out a lot, this is Language Smarts. So they also have these similar levels as mathematical reasoning. And this was one thing that I was like not sure I was gonna actually use too much, especially for the 4th grade level. But I don't know, some of the other things we were doing for language arts have kind of faded away. And so we've just been picking up this, especially since we've made the choice for her to go to public school. I know I keep saying that, but there were things that I wanted her to work on in this book. And so I found like synonyms and antonym pages, and I've kind of bookmarked a lot of things. There's some different spelling pages I might have her do. I've bookmarked a lot lately. Lots of grammar in here. Toward the end, there is writing and there's reading comprehension. So we've done pages here and there in here, but I'm like just kind of been pulling out more lately and having this almost as her main language arts lately, and I'm really happy with this. All right, so moving on to some family subjects, favorite curriculum. We had different plans this year all together for like science and history for our homeschooling year, and we switched it all up. And so I have some different favorites that have kind of come about as we made those changes. First one is Grapevine Studies. We picked this up for like Easter time this year, and we have really enjoyed it. I will say I knew we would not get through this, so we will be working on this a little more in May. But this has been a favorite. I think that they've really enjoyed drawing like the stick figure pictures, and I read through the Bible story that we are reading about. It's all about, Holy Week and everything. So we're going through that, and they do it in their own little journal as I read. Another thing this was just like a random idea that I had after coming across a fire and having to call 911. I had already had the safety unit from The Good and the Beautiful. I can't find the workbook, the teacher guide. But these are like the little workbooks that they had, and we went through this. They did some of this workbook, but honestly, I think the best part for us was just going through the lessons. There was 10 lessons in the safety unit of The Good and the Beautiful, and they were really great jumping off points for discussing like safety, especially like stranger safety. And and like we are really dealing with like Tornado Alley here in the Midwest, and so that's always very beneficial for us to talk about. So, and fire safety, there's so many great things in there. So I was really glad that we picked this up mainly for the discussion. So that was one of my favorite, I think, for our family time from that. I mentioned that we made changes with our science. I originally wasn't going to have them doing like family science at all, and we ended up doing it. So a couple of things that we picked up this year that we really liked. We picked up Harbor and Sprout units. We have quite a few of them now. This one in particular I really liked because of the things that we added in with it. I really loved the aviation history lessons. We learned about women in history with aviation. We learned about like people with disabilities with aviation. So I really liked that especially. Another concept in here, and I honestly, I can't even tell you if I like really implemented it the way that they wanted me to, but in the writing they kind of suggested something with like travel writing, and I had them come make a decision of a country that they wanted to like write about. We also had to meet some learning goals for our public virtual school with writing. One, my middle daughter was supposed to be for like informational writing, and my younger daughter was just writing in general. So I had them make little travel brochures for a country that they chose. I wanted it to be something that they wanted to do, and so it turned out to be like, I think, my favorite project of the year. And we just got it finished not that long ago, like just in the last few weeks we've done it. So my middle daughter, my 4th grader, picked Czech Republic. We have family who live in Czech Republic, and so she was able to call them and like get some more information and ask questions. She looked up and found her own pictures, and she wrote things. She found out some information and kind of summarized and wrote her own information. And she used Canva to create this brochure, and so I was really happy with that, how she did, because she was my hesitant writer and she did a great job. My younger daughter did one on France. I don't have it right here with me, but one of my best friends went to France and Germany recently, and we saw a lot of her pictures, so we printed out her pictures, and she wrote some different things on there of like, especially the landmarks. She loved the landmarks. So this has been a success. We've done visual arts, I believe, and starting Honeybee. One of the other things that we did with this, we went to a National Air Force Museum, and that was really cool to kind of bring it all together as well. So I've really enjoyed this and just having that topic. Another thing we did right before it, and we have several of these, are science chunks. This is from Elemental Science, and basically you're going through these lessons. This one is motion, so that's why we kind of did it right before aviation. Also done stars, and I really liked stars, I think maybe better than motion, but they do a lap book and maybe some different experiments. We are not great with experiments though. So, and then usually you have like an extra book or two. One of the best things with this though, we did find these cute like little fairy tale books that go along with science concepts. And I think I've mentioned them before, but this one was about, it was Move and then Jack and the Beanstalk, and it was really good. So I was really happy we found that with this, and really helped us understand the concepts a little bit better. So sorry, that was a long one. Those were a lot of our favorites this year. I'm sure here and there we had some other favorites. We've used a lot of curriculum through the years, but these were just kind of things that have stood out, especially in the last couple months to us. I would love to hear what some of your favorites have been this year. Don't forget to check out the playlist down below of other moms sharing their favorite things. I hope you have a great day.